So 5 months down the line of Edgar Chagalungu's dying, people are still wondering what the way forward is. And one of the people that chipped in is Brian Apunda. And this to say, Mwelesa, this man continues to serve even in his death. This marks exactly 5 months since he left us. President Hakainde Hichilema show leadership. Stepping aside and not presiding over your predecessor's burial is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. So he says, no, if President Hakainde Hichilema is able to step aside according to the family wishes, Edgar Lungu would have been buried by now, as according to Brian Apunda. And going into the general elections next year without burying your predecessor, your elder brother will definitely take away from your from your election. So that's according to Brian Apunda's advice. And then Shifetehari had this to say, the whole Edgar Chagolungu drama and on the burial was a calculated ploy by Makebi to become president, by Esther, referring to Esther Lungu, the former first lady, is part of the plan. So alleges Shifetehari there. He's been playing a lot of politics with regard to this whole thing, especially involving the former first lady. Really, people have no problem with him involving Makebi Zulu and every political player. But anyway, that's his choice. And then Chishimba Kambwili also weighed in with regard to how the convention is supposed to take place. As you may be aware, the Patriotic Front has announced to say they're going to hold the general conference within the next 30 days. So pretty much by December first week, we should have a new Patriotic Front president. That's if the convention takes place. But there is one group that's advocating for the convention to be virtual, considering the resources are insufficient. But Chishimba Kambwili had this to say with regard to that virtual conference. Stand by.
Convention is very important. After the death of our two former leaders, President Michael Sata and President Edgar Lungu, you cannot have a virtual or hybrid convention. You cannot, unless you are not serious. This convention must be physical at all costs. The convention must be physical. If you are thinking of an hybrid or virtual convention, then we are not being serious. I know resources may constrain, but I think what has happened, what we have gone through, these people getting the party from us, they need to see, the UPND needs to see that PF have gathered from all corners of the country. This is going to legitimize the given Lubinda-led PF.
So that's Chishimba Kambwili's advice to the PF, simply saying that holding a general conference virtually will not have any impact. As you may be aware, Chishimba Kambwili was just recently released from prison for serving the 5 months jail term with hard labor. And then again, he was rearrested in prison, but later on released on bail, and is currently in South Africa, at least from the last reports that came on media. He's in South Africa for medical checkup. But they say politics is very addictive. You cannot step aside from politics when you are involved. It seems like he's speaking from the bedside or wherever he is. But yeah, he sent that voice note to one of the Patriotic Fund pages, and they've been circulating those audios on a number of platforms, where he's advising to say, I mean, the only thing that is going to legitimize the given Lubinda-led Patriotic Front is if they are able to hold the general conference physically with all participants coming in, and people are able to campaign, not this thing they're trying to do where you activate the voting or campaign period before people are even able to file in their nominations. So I do not know how he's going to do it. If he's out of the country, is he flying in today for him to meet the deadline for the filing in of papers, or is it going to count the fact that he already paid and he already filed in? Let's wait and see. Anyway, let me play the rest of the audio so that you listen to Kambwili speak for himself.
And show that Chabinga has no people. So the virtual one must completely be done away with and not even thought of. let's not divide the party. This idea of going round just brings confusion and division in the party. I still insist that campaigns must be opened a day after filing nominations. And what usually happens is you have Northern Province, they will have their corner. Each candidate can go to the corner of Northern Province and speak to Northern Province. Southern Province will have their corner. Each candidate can go to Southern Province and speak to the Southern Province at the same venue. That is how conventions are conducted. It is unheard of that you can open campaigns way before the convention and allow candidates to be going around. It's never done. It's never done.
Anyway, that's the advice coming from Chishimba Kambwili to his party, which clearly indicates I think he has intentions of contesting the presidency. Let's see how that plays out. The Lungu family have been played by Malukula, referring obviously he alleges Makebi Zulu there. He has blackened them out of the media. I mean, he has blackened them out of and made them refugees, referring to say now Edgar Shakalungu's kids and the former First Lady are now based in South Africa. The refugees, he stole their spotlight as a bereaved family for his political ambitions. The family would have negotiated something for themselves, but Malukula denied them the opportunity. So he says, no, Edgar Shakalungu's kids and wife would have taken that opportunity to sign off some deal with government so that they have the body brought back to Zambia and the burial take place, but because they allowed Makebi Zulu to use them for his political ambitions, now they are stranded in South Africa and they've turned into refugees, alleges Shilufia Tereyari there. In other news, the Minister of Energy, or the person that was representing him, at least to say to the media, say, clap for government as we will provide 3 hours of power and then 21 hours of load shedding. So people are just wondering to say, this means that you should have probably just stayed away from this press briefing because now you're just upsetting people. How can you demand for people to clap for you for providing 3 hours of power? I don't know if it was a joke that didn't just land well, but people have not received that very well. And some of the people are from within the UPND. One of their media persons, that the lady you see on screen there, she says, so yesterday around 23 hours, I was fired together with the United Party. I was fired together with the United Party for National Development media team members. But inaikosa. So she laughs it off. She said she was fired, and then she states the reason why she was fired. After that, minister issued that statement. I will read you a statement, but obviously Chifetayari also weighs in the statement of the video. I think I should have this video. Let me see if I do have it. But anyway, the minister is simply demanding for people in the audience to clap for him, in as much as they are upset with the thing. That's what the video is all about, and people are wondering how do you demand that? And Chifetayari simply says, "By UPND, please, you're making their lives difficult. As you may be aware, Chifetayari has recently been campaigning for the United Party for National Development that President Hakainde Hichilema. So he says, by UPND, please keep such ministers away from the cameras. They are making our jobs very difficult. Is there anything for people to be talking about when you providing 3 hours of electricity and asking people to clap for you? Guys, be serious." So he simply says this guy shouldn't have been held this press briefing because now yes, the UPND media team, including Chifetayari, he's included himself in there, and unofficially says they're already pushing the agenda, explaining why the country is experiencing load shedding, trying to cool down people's hearts. And then now you allow a minister like this come on camera and say, demand for people to clap for him when they're experiencing 21 hours of load shedding and 3 hours of power. And the 3 hours is talking about, to say, at least 3 hours, meaning it can be less than that. So it's simply saying this guy shouldn't have held that press conference. He's making their life difficult as a UPND media guys. So the lady now explains to say why she was fired. I think it's because I told the energy minister the truth. Resign, sir, she says she demanded. You have failed the nation 4 years later and still issuing annoying statements. You're asking to be praised for 3 hours of power supply per day. Honestly, she asks, you should have made you should have made a plan. Hakuna plan. You said you are the plan. You have no plan. Enough is enough. It's totally unacceptable to subject people to darkness for 21 hours daily, regardless of whether they voted for you or not. It is your responsibility to take care of every Zambian and providing them by basic necessities and explain proper reasons and solutions for the problem, and not just ask for people to clap for you for 3 hours of power supply. How do you people expect? How do you expect people to run businesses with long hours? I mean, long hours of power absence. You even mock people and say, "Buy solar. Which solar? With which money?" She asks. So pretty much, she says that's the reason she was fired from the UPND. It's because of that statement that she told to the minister to his face, and she laughs it off. She says, "You can't even fire someone that you don't feed," so she's fine there. And then Brian Apund also, pretty much everyone has been laughing at this minister. The statement that he issued, it's either it was a joke that wasn't received well, like now they're even tagging members of parliament from what's this? So he's playing tribal cousinship between Lozis and Tongas. He's saying he tags a person from Western Province who is the member of parliament, says, "Hey, bro, I saw you clapping for a minister for 3 hours of electricity." And then the guy responded in the comment section, "Yo, Mambala, my cousin, I haven't been well. I cannot be, I haven't been well, and I can't be in that audience. Nevertheless, we are working to resolve the challenges that the country is facing." Obviously, he tries to clean it up, but simply says he wasn't part of that audience that was clapping for that minister when he demanded that. And that's what's in the real times as news headlines, and that's what's in the news diggers. Catholics weigh in on constitutional review time frame inadequate. So the Catholic Church has spoken, saying the constitutional review and the time that is required before we go to the elections, it's inadequate to have the process done effectively. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day.
About we don't want the party to be divided again. We want to go to this convention, come out united. I submit.